A good book. There you go. Today I'm talking about stuff spiritual. I'm not a spiritual person, never had a spiritual experience, and I don't really know anybody who's that spiritual as such. However, I do believe in certain things outside of our thinking and understanding, and there's things like that we just don't know, that we don't know, that we don't know, if you understand what I'm saying. If you know. Recently, well, the 24th of last month, at midday, exactly 12 o'clock, I lost my nephew Mikhail. It's a hard one for me to talk about because I love him very much. He was very similar to me at that age, and there's a lot of parallels, and I acted like a father to him because he didn't have one. His father died just after he was born, and my sister was sick, so he was raised first of all by my mum, and then he went into a foster home. At midday at Moria Falls, I was busy filming a hawk in my garden, doing something for the channel, and I got this I was really compelled to contact my son and Mikhail. Hard to talk about, but I have to talk about it. What did I do? I knew they were on their way to Christchurch and they'd be on the road, and I don't even know why, but I picked up my phone and I called my son and left a voice message. Hey son, are you okay? Just thinking about you right now. Is everything all right? And then that was at 12 o'clock, and at the same hour of 12 I contacted Mikhail. Hey Mikhail, I just tried to call you on. Are you guys okay? Is everything all right? I don't know what I was thinking, whether I was worried they're having a car accident. I just had a feeling out of the blue, and I was completely in the middle of filming this hawk, and it was actually quite a cool bit of footage I was going to get, and I got drawn to turn that off and make that call. At that very same time, my son had a vision of me. At this point in time, he was drowning. He was underwater. He was just about to open his mouth and breathe in water. He tried to save Mikhail. He'd tried to pull the body along and couldn't. He was in deep trouble, and there was a aeration in the water, and there was a force of the waterfall, and there was the freezing cold, and he couldn't get to the surface, and he thought, this is it, I'm dying, I can't get there. He was absolutely buggered, and he just about to let go life. And as he was about to let go life, he went to open his mouth to breathe in the first amount of water. He was thinking, I'm going to see what this feels like. That would have been the end of him. At that time, he then looked up to the surface, which was quite far up. You could see bubbles and light, and was getting ready to just let himself go, let this life go. And my face, the vision of my face, came down towards him. And I was talking to him, I was saying, hey son, we're going surfing, come on, we're going surfing. Now I'd promised him quite a while ago that when I get through this disease that I've got right now that's knocking me around a bit, I said, I'm going to beat this. I'll beat cancer and I'll beat this. When I do, we're going surfing. I'm going to paddle out with the surfboard. I'll take the 9.9, you take the dovetail, we'll go out past the break together, and I will be beside you, and we'll take a wave and watch each other, and we'll have some fun. I've got some good places to surf. We might even go up top of the North Island to Ahipara. We might go and surf Gore Bay. I've got some good spots around there. So we're going to go surfing. So he, at the same time I was trying to call him on my phone, at midday when he was drowning, he had this vision of me, and he thought, I've got to get to the top because I'm going surfing with Dad. And he kicked, even though he was now in oxygen depletion, and he had some water in his lungs because that came out when he was in hospital later. But that, me reaching out to my son and that love, and him wanting to go surfing with Dad, because obviously Dad had survived and he had to keep his promise because I kept my promise. And that's an incredible thing, isn't it? Now you could be a skeptic and say, oh, it was just coincidental that I called at that time, and it was just coincidental my son thought about me. And maybe it was, but who's to say it was? There's no proving it either way. That's about as spiritual as things get. Now I was just looking in the Bible a while ago. I sometimes look at the Bible. Everyone's got one somewhere in their house, and there's some good stuff in there. But there's also good stuff everywhere, and I don't just say that's the only book. There's some things in there that are ridiculous, particularly in the Old Testament. You'd never do them today. I've read bits of the Quran. Some of it makes sense too. I had a mate come over about 3 years ago. No more than that. Probably, God no, it was like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 2015, and he'd just become a Buddhist. James. Hey James, I know you watch this channel, so sorry about this, James, but James came over and he'd just become a Buddhist, and he was painful. He was like, bro, it's so good, you've got to like lose your attachments to your material stuff. I said, I don't have attachments to material stuff. Look around, man, all my stuff's falling to bits. I'm terrible looking after stuff. I'm not attached to anything really. He said, well, you've got to, like, with that people. I said, well, no, I'm attached to people. I love people. Of course, when someone dies, it hurts me because I'm attached to them. He goes, that's it. And he was over the top. And I think it's with anything or anybody, whether it's a new diet or it's a born-again Christian or it's a born-again Buddhist or someone's found Islam or whatever it is, people often, for some reason, they want to put it on everybody else as well. But why is that? Well, I guess they're experiencing something wonderful at that time and they want to share it. But it's only wonderful to them. I mean, if you've found a diet that you're going to lose weight, that's great. But right now I'm underweight. I'm as light as I've been in a long time. And if someone had a diet to lose weight right now, I'd say, well, no, I need to get some beef on me. I'm eating as much to put weight on, so don't give me that. So everyone's in a different situation in their life. And so what you've got and you're enthusiastic about, whether it's God or it's Buddha or it's the keto diet or whatever it is, it all depends on where you're on your life, whether you're going to hear that or not. So I don't waste too much of my energy with trying to tell people about things that I've found that are good for me. And things change. We all change, our lives change and go a different direction. The other thing I'll just finish up with is that this life here that we're in right now, as painful as it can be and as challenging as it can be and as difficult as it can be, it's an amazing life. This all around us is our planetary experience, our human experience. We're not meant to be spiritual. Save that for when you're dead. I mean, it's good to have a spirituality and something to believe in through a hard time, but embrace being on this planet in your human body, being a human. A lot of people use spiritual stuff just to escape this human experience because it's so painful, and I understand that. I get that totally. There's times I would like to run away and just be with God or be with Buddha or be somewhere on the hill and completely like not deal with the reality of my existence. It's difficult sometimes. The last 3 weeks have been difficult. I would like to just I didn't feel like talking. I didn't talk at all. I just went quiet. I went within myself, and that was my solace, to reflect and think and feel and go through the painful process of letting go someone that I've loved who's lost their life. And that's also a human experience. So a lot of people that I know that are looking to become enlightened seem to have their lives in a mess. And that's not a judgment, it's just a clear observation. I've got a mate that's always trying to seek enlightenment. He does all these different drugs, ayahuasca and LSD and mushrooms. He's always trying to get to his higher self, and he really doesn't. In fact, his life's pretty messy. He's always getting kicked out of his apartment because he didn't pay his rent, and his car's always need to be fixed up, and he's never got any money. And it's like, well, I know they're only material things, but there's nothing wrong with having a good car and a dry home and a warm bed at night. And enlightenment, I would save that myself. I don't think I'm ever going to be enlightened myself, but I think enlightenment, is when you suddenly realise what life is about for you, and it's different for everybody. For me, it's about caring for people and caring for myself and having that network of people around me that's love. And that comes from building strong communities of like-minded people and people that aren't so like-minded, people that think outside the square, but just accepting them for how they are. When we start to say that our way is the only way, that's when wars begin. That's what all the fighting's about. When you say that my spiritual belief is the only way, there's no other way, then you run into a risk of, first of all, isolating yourself from a huge percentage of the people around you. And you can also cause friction in your own life and with your friends. So I don't talk about religion and spirituality in any of my videos, and this is a first. And I just wanted to raise it today because I've had quite a few people while I've been going through this time of grief. I've been told to harden up. That was a funny one. I thought that was hilarious, actually. I've been told, do you know Jesus? I've been told what we do in Buddhism is we like to, and this guy went right through the whole thing of that, and that was just, I found that unhelpful. I got told that it's really important to to acceptance. Yeah, acceptance. Yeah, I'm down on that. I accept it. It's most important for you, if you're going through a grieving process, that you do it in the way that feels right to you. No one can tell you what to do. People might be uncomfortable with the way you go about it, but it's solely up to you. We're all different. We've all got little idiosyncrasies. We've got different past experiences, and we've got reasons to why we do what we do, and they're private to us. And if we want to share them, we can. I'm sharing with you right now, but you don't have to. And this earth experience of being in your body now, embrace it, because you will be dead one day, and then you can have your spiritual experience. Save it for when you kick the bucket. Don't get too caught up with things outside of your body and your physical area around you and that, because that's where it's at. I'm not dissing spirituality of any sort. It's important and it's a part of our makeup, but keep it in balance with being here now. We're here to have a world experience, a body experience. That's what we're here for. So have it. And go steady and check on a brother. Quite often people that are really hooked on a spiritual aspect of life are really actually suffering a lot. And it's because this around them is just too difficult. The reality of themselves and what's around, it's just too hard. So they get lost in Islam or lost in Buddhism or whatever. There's a lot of people like that. And just like you, just like me, we're all just trying to do the best we can with what we've got. Go steady. I'm going to finish off my beautiful dandelion root tea. Josh James, one of the best things I've ever learned from you, mate. I've been drinking it ever since you mentioned it. Fantastic. Okay, guys. See you later.